What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good day, and if you're not, hopefully the videos make your day a little bit better. Today we're going to be talking about Creed Centaurus, and I'm not going to lie, when I first heard the name I thought it sounded like a Parfums de Marly fragrance or a dinosaur. But then I started thinking about it, and Centaurus, Aventus, the other one is Delphinus, something like that, Delphinus, Aventus. They're kind of trying to do a little play on words with the Aventus vibes, but kind of bring it back in a different way. Or at least that's my analysis on it. I think it's a little play on words. I will say right off the bat, I really like this red bottle. I even put on a reddish maroon shirt to kind of match the bottle vibes. Gold cap. I think it's the same gold that's on Millésime Imperial. Might be a slightly different shade. No, I actually think that's a darker gold. I think it's a slightly different shade of gold. But don't quote me on that. They might be the same. As I said though, I like the color scheme of this bottle. Red and gold I think is awesome. Looks really good. Cap, as always, the new Creed's metal cap. Don't even really have to talk about the atomizer. It's a Creed. Atomizers are great. However, what I will touch on is the fact that Creed atomizers are so easy to decant out of. These and Parfums de Marly, and honestly the Parfums de Marly aren't quite as good. These pull juice out, like it pulls out so easy. It really no comparison to any other atomizer that I can think of. It's just actually maybe BDKs. BDKs have really good atomizers for decanting and they spray really good as well. Comment down below if you have experience decanting or what's your favorite atomizer on the fragrance in your collection. Let me know. What kind of atomizers do you guys like? I don't have a box, I got a tester, so we're not going to talk about the full presentation, anything like that. We're just going to get into the smell. Let's go straight on skin, no tester strips, let's get it. Cinnamon vibes immediately in the air, I will say that. I don't even have to put my nose up to it, straight cinnamon right off the bat. Okay, spicy cinnamon. I know cinnamon's a spice on its own, but there's more. It's like maybe like a combination of cardamom and cinnamon in the opening. Definitely get some woods underneath it. It smells like a synthetic wood though, Isoe Super and Ambroxan, something like that in the background. So this gives me the vibes. This may sound funny to some of you guys, but picture a tobacco leaf rolled in big red gum. If you ever chewed big red gum back in the day, it's got that intense cinnamon. This, I can almost, when I smell it, I can almost taste cinnamon in my mouth. That's how realistic the cinnamon in this is. Heavy on the spices and cinnamon for sure. This is not going to be something you're going to want to wear in high heat at all. This could get really annoying if you get sweaty, if you get hot outside, moving around too much in the heat. Not going to really enjoy this at all. However, I think for fall, winter date nights, this could be something nice. If you're into spicy fragrances, I think that sweetness, I think there's a little sweetness in there. It almost smells like tonka, heliotrope, something like that. Doesn't specifically remind me of anything, but if you were to take a cinnamon cardamom take on the fragrance Leighton, don't call me crazy, but I'm not saying it smells like Leighton. I'm talking the vibes it's giving off, the time you would wear it. I don't think it's really something you're gonna dress up very formal. I think it's more of an informal night out fragrance, date night, cooler weather, possibly a warm-ish night, but definitely nothing that's gonna be hot daytime. That's what I mean by a cardamom cinnamon take on Leighton. I don't think it reminds me of Leighton at all. So don't go smelling this and thinking you're gonna get something that smells anything like Leighton. The overall vibes of the way the fragrance acts on my skin, though, it really pops off in the opening. It's kind of surprising from Creed to put out something like this, and that's why I say their take on Layton but with cardamom and cinnamon, because Creed is more known for fresh fragrances, and they turn around and they release something like this. And with how popular Parfums de Marly's spicy oriental fragrances are, it kind of seems like they're trying to get into that ballpark. They're not trying to clone anything. They're not trying to really rip anything off of Parfums de Marly, but I think they're trying to get in that wheelhouse of those spicy night out fragrances and not just focusing on the fresh fragrances, the put together professional fragrances. Because at the end of the day, I look at a lot of Creed fragrances as almost suit and tie businessman fragrances, well put together, not necessarily informal night fragrances. Aventus is a very classic men's fragrance. It can be dressed up. It can be dressed down, but it is a very professional smelling fragrance. I think Millésime Imperial is another professional smelling fragrance, but it can be dressed down a lot better than Aventus can. I think that this falls into that wheelhouse of being a fragrance you can really dress down, go out to a club, go out for a date night, something like that. And you don't have to dress professional with this. I don't think you necessarily have to dress professional with any fragrance. However, I think a fragrance should fit the vibe of your wardrobe. I think a fragrance is kind of like the icing on the cake for a good outfit. If you're dressed up in a really professional, business-looking attire, but you're wearing a fragrance that comes across like very immature night out clubbing, it doesn't really go with the vibes of the outfit. However, if you're wearing something that's very well put together, it's a more mature gentleman's fragrance, it adds to the outfit instead of almost taking away from the outfit, not really blending in, not really fitting with what you're wearing. And that can go vice versa too. You don't necessarily want to wear something that's very professional and put together when you're going to the gym, or something sweet and spicy when you're going to the gym. You can get away with something more basic that just smells clean, like soap, anything like that. I'm going to leave this spray to dry down on my arm. I'm going to check back with you guys, give you my final thoughts, and let you know what I think about the new Creed Centaurus. Alright guys, let it dry down on my skin, spend some time with it, and honestly, I'm not going to say it's a bad fragrance. It's just not something I could see myself reaching for. It smells pleasant when you first spray it on. You get that nice cinnamon cardamom opening. It does smell good. It's just certain fragrances, they smell good on the atomizer. They smell good when you first spray them. It's just not something I really catch myself enjoying the wafts of. It's just there. I'm like, yeah, it's there, but I'm not like smelling it. I'm like, oh man, that's captivating. That's really good. There are so many other fragrances that I've gotten lately that I would reach for over this. I'm not saying it's bad. I think Creed definitely addressed the performance issues that people complain about, because this is not something that's going to be watered down like some of their fresh fragrances now that have been reformulated, and now the performance is just subpar and it really doesn't stick around. A lot of them smell great, but they just don't last like they used to. And I've gotten some older batches. I have a 2016 Green Iris Tweed now, and I have a 2015 Millésime Imperial now. And the new ones are completely different fragrances. So it's not just like their batch variations, they're complete reformulations of the fragrances. This kind of addresses the performance issues that people have been complaining about. I think they loaded this down with spices and ambroxan and elements of sweetness to really make this stick around. And I think that's what is not rubbing me the right way. It's kind of that background sweetness. I think the cinnamon tobacco combination is really good, but whatever's in the background, the like tonka, heliotrope, ambroxan, is just not vibing with me. If anybody else gets like headaches in the front of your head from certain fragrances, it's like that. Smells good, If I spray this on though and give it a full wearing, I'm going to end up with a headache. I think it's good. I think it's going to last a long time. I think it'll pull compliments. So I think people should sample it, and if it vibes with you, definitely pick it up, get a decant, get a couple carded samples, anything like that. Some people are really going to like this. Some people it's going to be one of those things that are divisive. But I think that's the beautiful thing about niche perfumery. A lot of them can be divisive. You'll have people that absolutely love certain fragrances, and then you have people that say they're complete trash. I think everybody's personal taste should be appreciated, and if somebody doesn't like something, I don't think that means the fragrance is bad. I think it just means it doesn't work for that in particular person, because these are being sprayed onto your body, and that's what's representing your smell when you're coming into a room. So if something doesn't vibe with you, then I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. So Creed Centaurus, I think it's a solid release. I think some people are going to get some really good wear out of this. I think people are going to pull great compliments with this. I'm just personally not going to wear it. So I'm going to decant out this bottle, and I'm not sure if I'm going to replace it. We'll see. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed me reviewing and talking about the new release from Creed, Centaurus. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay positive, stay smelling good, and I'll see you in the next video.